But he's a wonderful man, and it's wonderful to have men that are with us and supporting us. And I'm glad that he has the wisdom to know we do run things. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, Tio. So we're going to talk for a few moments about God's call on your life, and that God has a plan for your life. And this is just kind of a short segment, but I believe it's going to be very powerful for some of you, because it really is a mission God's put on our hearts. But I'm going to let Tonilee get started, and then I'll pick it up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's 3 things in the Word of God that God talks about. He says, God has given us gifts that we can do a work and bear fruit. Okay, and fruit is for others, not necessarily for us. So the lemon tree doesn't eat its own lemons. Okay, the avocado tree doesn't have its own, right? So we have gifts, we have works to do, and we have fruit. And what we had noticed going across the country last year is that a lot of the women's prayers are about their finances, about their work, about what has God called them to do, and that they don't feel like they're empowered or equipped to do it. And it became our concern, especially because Bobbye has such a business background. I mean, everything that we did, we started writing Bible studies, she had to make it a business. We started radio, she had to trademark it. So everything we've always done, I used to say, can't we just be volunteers? Does everything have to be a business? But we didn't know God's plan for us, and literally you do have to have the right foundation if it's going to go anywhere, because you don't know what the Lord is going to bless and not bless. Cast your bread on the water, and we'll see what the Lord blesses, like Ecclesiastes 11. So there's a verse in 1 Corinthians 3 that says, if anyone builds on this foundation, and they're talking about Jesus Christ, on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work. If what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. If it is built up, the builder will suffer loss, yet he will be saved. In other words, they'll have fire insurance, and they'll be with the Lord in heaven, but they're not going to have the blessings, because we can only do that on earth. We can only do the work on earth to bear the fruit because of the gifts he's given us. So as women, we're a little bit of the underdog if we weren't raised like Bobbye Brooks. Okay, so me, I am the poster child for this. So Bobbye's like, she has a finance mind, she has a business mind, she can just cut off her emotions, you know what I mean? Like just bump in the road, let's keep going. She's got that ability to just keep pushing through. When things take me out, I have to think about it, I have to pray about it, I have to, you know what I mean? I have to talk about it before I can get back up, and I might have lost a lot of time in the process. So she was watching this in the ministry and thinking, this has to change for women. So we came up with another business, well, she did, Media for Women, but I'm a co-owner, Media for Women, and I want you to tell them about Media for Women.
Okay, so I'm really not going to talk about Media for Women too much. If you've seen it on you can check out the website, Media, the number 4 Women. And the reason that we even have some of this stuff, like these cute little boxes, and we might give this away today, this is a spiritual warfare teachings. Isn't this cool? Okay, so what's cool is you get this little MP3 player, and I don't even know if we have any left, but they're out there if they haven't sold out already. And so you have a little place to put your little earbuds, okay? And then there's a little cord. This is called a USB. So, okay, part plugs into the computer. She's laughing because she knows what a USB is. The smart ones in the room are always going, I knew that, okay? And some of you are going, thank you for telling me. That's what that is, okay? Right? We're all at different levels. We're all in different places. Amen. Okay? You know what it stands for? Oh, gosh. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know that. I don't want to know. Then you have another little piece that plugs into here. So what you can do is you can plug one in here and the other to the computer, and you download the teachings to your computer. Then you have your grandchild say, honey, can you put me some songs on here? Because this serves as just like an iPod. Anyway, so it has our teachings for spiritual warfare. Now, what's the point of me talking about that? Not to sell it. The point is to say that my brain does think in these ways. In the ways of technology of how do we get the message of the gospel out. Okay? So my whole thing when we started Media for Women wasn't, oh, let's start another company. It was, wow, in 2008, there's all these things on YouTube that I don't necessarily agree with. I'm tired of hearing about everybody else's religions, thoughts, opinions. And I thought, why can't we put our devotionals on YouTube? Until I was like, well, how are we going to do that? You have to have a video camera. Well, we'll get one. So I did. So the next thing you know, I learned about live webcasting. So we can broadcast our Bible studies through a computer online to all over the world. So our next Bible study, we'll do a live stream, and any of you can join in. It's great. Technology's great. I mean, I don't know how many of you have a smartphone. Does everybody have a smartphone? You don't? You're dumb? You need one? They don't make you any smarter. Sorry. I wish I could plug it in, but I just got the 6 Plus, and 2 weeks they're coming out with the 6S. That's how behind I am, but that's another story. But that being said, with all of what's happening, what I wanted to do was, first and foremost, let's get the gospel out through the technology to reach a culture Amen. That's using this technology. Okay, that's the first thing. Media for Women grew, though, because the original premise was, I want to help women become entrepreneurs. That's what I want to do. I want every single one of you who have a desire to start a business. Now, and some people go, I don't want to. Okay, start a business. What does that mean? It can mean whatever it is. It can mean you have an idea. It can mean you want to write a book. It can mean you've got 1,000 recipes from your grandmother, and they really should be in a cookbook. But you wouldn't even have a clue how to publish it or how to put it together. It could mean that, wow, you know what? You'd like to have your own radio show. Dreams, goals, hopes. And the other thing that every single one of you have is a story. You have a history, you have a background. And I would dare to say that many of you have overcome something in your life that if other people knew about it, it would help them. People can listen to us all day long, and they hear our stories, that's great. But when they hear your story, in addition to our story, then people go, wow. I mean, Tonilee and I could tell a story and then go, oh, that's good. And then somebody else gets up and says, but here's what happened to me. And 15 people could go, oh my gosh, that just touched my heart. Because that's how God uses all of us. It isn't just Bobbye and Tonilee. It's Joanne, it's Lisa, it's Kelly, it's Karen, it's Kathy. It's all of you. It starts with a K. Every single one of you have a story. So my heart's desire is to help people, number one, help you become, entrepreneur is a big word, but it can mean whatever it is. Entrepreneur, start a business, or just get your message out. And the reason I decided to do this is because I have so many women that have come up to me at the end of a conference and say, wow, I'm inspired. God has released me. Finally, I really want to get back to doing what I need to be doing. And not all of it is necessarily ministry-based. A lot of it is, but not all of it. You may just have an idea, but what do you do with it? So here's what I'm doing, just to cut this short. I did this in San Diego, and I did it in Ventura, and I couldn't believe the response. It was overwhelming. Mm-hmm. I did 2 seminars, and now I have over 50 women in what's called a mastermind group. There's 2 different groups. What does that mean? That means that I am teaching and training women how to learn how to do this yourself. Now, in that process, I am teaching you the basics of everything, from how to select a name to buying a domain if you've never used GoDaddy or any type of system. And everybody's at different levels. You don't have to know a thing. I've got a couple of women that don't even own a computer. Okay? So I believe God's really put this on my heart as a mission to help you do whatever it is that God has called you to do that you need help with. Now, it may not apply to everybody, but it may apply to a lot of you that you wouldn't even know where to start and don't have the money. Don't have the money to go pay for all of this. And believe me, I started Media for Women after we spent probably $50,000 on our first book. Not to mention a lot of other money. Like, we had to do something to bring in money to support the ministry. That being said, all these years later, I have a system that I am launching, and it's going to be an academy. It's going to be an online. There's going to be some online. There's going to be some phone conferencing. There's going to be some in-service, but a lot of it is going to be done just with you. Whether you have a computer or a phone, some of you can do it right on your phone. But I'm teaching classes. I have a system that I have set up that walks you through step by step by step, all the way to building your own website, to marketing and launching whatever it is you want to. And I mean whatever you want to. And I got 50 women right now going through this process, all nationalities. I got the 25 to the 75-year-old. There is no disqualification. There is no requirement. Now, at some point, you might need a computer or at least a smartphone. But the truth is, there's lots of ways to get around some of this. It depends on what you want to do. So we've got people at all different stages. And what we're going to do with this one is, because so much of the content I already have, a lot of it's going to be video driven. Plus, about once a month, we'll have a phone conference together. Plus, there's lots of other things that happen. But my bottom line is, if you are interested and you would like to know more about this or would like to join, first of all, I'm going to tell you what it costs. Because I don't like surprises. So none of you like to go, you get all excited, and then you find out what it really costs, okay? So I'm going to tell you what it costs. It costs $25 a month. That's what it costs. $25 a month is for as long as you want to, and you get to keep all the content that you do along the way, but $25 a month for access to everything that you need to know. And there's a process. You're looking at about 6 months of a certain level, 6 to 9 months to launch, depending upon your level. Some people are going to launch faster. By launch, I mean could be a new website. If you have an existing business, but you're not getting traffic, you're not getting sales, I could spend a whole rest of the day on just what's happening in the entire world of marketing and media. It has changed dramatically, and it changes about every 3 months. It's harder and harder. I know radio stations understand what I'm saying. We used to could put an ad on a radio station and have 100 people respond. We've been running ads. God bless AM 1100. God bless Salem Media for supporting this. If you don't hear, couple little statistics for you. You need to hear an ad. What used to be 3 to 7 times, now 25 times before you respond. Statistics show that 15% of people will respond to an ad within the first 90 days. 15%, 85% can respond to an ad up to a year after they've seen it. It's true. We swing back around and swing back around. Second little statistics for you. A goldfish has the attention span of 8 seconds. Ours is 7. A goldfish will look at you. A goldfish will outstare you. Look at a goldfish. You'll turn away before he does. He'll just keep looking. And you're like, I'm done with that. So when you go to a website, or when you watch something, you tune out. And if in 5 to 7 seconds on a website, when you look at it, you don't like it, you're off. And a lot of businesses today are hurting. So a lot of people who are trying to do things, you get your book published, who's going to sell it? After friends and family, that you've given half of them away. I'm going to set up a Facebook page. Great, good. Who's going to go to it? How are you going to promote it? In other words, you've got to have a plan. So I am building an entire system. We would not be here 15 years doing this and 8 years with this company, Media for Women. And my husband and I have a company going almost 20 years that's a construction company in San Diego. And let me tell you, if you don't think commercial construction is a tough business, don't get into it. But anyway, it's 20 years going strong. And there's a reason for some of that is because we've learned how to stay relevant in the culture. I want to help you. First of all, do what God's put on your heart to do. This isn't me telling you what to do. This is what is God's put on your heart to do. What has God put on your heart to do? So here's the deal. It's $25 a month to sign up. You cannot sign up today. All I want, if you're interested, is your name and email.
Here, see? Emily gave me this. Just remind
Emily
it's
has
on the
given us
back
something.
of this.
Okay, so
And that's the giveaways, too, when they fill out the front.
So on this card, but the keep in touch with Bobbye and Tonilee, when you turn on the back, there's a little box. I am interested in starting my own business, ministry, or writing a book. What I'm going to do is if you put this down with your name and email, I'm going to send out an email probably next week with information. Now, if you would like to actually get an idea of what I'm talking about, I have about 10 maybe. We've done the seminar twice called How to Market and Monetize Your Message. And it's learning how to market and monetize your message. It's pretty simple. You have a message. That could be a book, it could be a blog, but would you like to actually monetize it? Do you realize most of you in this room could probably, I hate to say this, but it's true. Everything you buy, you could get money back on online. Amazon is responsible for 74%, right now, maybe more. 74% of all online sales comes through Amazon. How many of you have ever bought something on Amazon? Okay. How many of you are an Amazon associate? A few. You know what that means? Amazon associate means you're an affiliate. That means that pair of shoes you bought on Amazon, if you're an associate, which, by the way, is free to set up, you put that on your Facebook page and say, hey, girls, I just got these shoes I love for 50% off. And if you want them, you just click here. And they go click there and they buy those shoes. You get 10% of what they paid for those shoes. There are thousands of sites just like that. That's just one of the ways that you can make what I call extra money. And I'm not doing a money pitch by any means. But what I am saying is this. There is abundance out there. There's ways out there that we can learn to take the technology and use it for good. You just may want to donate it. You may want to use it as a fundraiser. Whatever. The only reason you're not is because you don't know how. So I've got about 10 of the seminars that I did. They're over 90 minutes long. Eddie recorded it. They're in these metal boxes on a jump drive. You know what a flash drive is? The flash drive is 4 gigs. So you can download, you stick it into your computer, download it, and then you still got a 4 gigabyte jump drive. It's $25 for the jump drive with the seminar on it. If you go buy a jump drive, you're going to pay more than $25 just for the little thumb drive. That being said, I've got a few of those here with me, and they're also available. If we run out, we can get those to you at any time. But if you're interested, fill it out. We'll actually collect these. We're going to do a drawing from
Before
these
lunch.
as well.
They're collecting them before lunch.
So fill these out before lunch. So if you have these right now, when we break for lunch, where should they take them?
They said at the doors.
Okay,
oh, those bags, yeah, there.
The bags are at the doors, so we will be collecting these cards. And again, for $25 a month, if you talk to my mastermind groups right now, it's what they're paying. I think they would all say they're amazed at what God is doing. Not Bobbye's doing, what God is doing. And they're all at different places, and they're all starting to learn how to do affiliate marketing. So they're making a little bit of money online. It's just kind of cool. It's fun, and it's safe. I am not a believer in those little emails you get that say, oh, sign up, you can make 6 figures for blogging. Really? Who's going to promote your blog? What are you going to put in your blog to sell? How are they going to find you? There's so many questions. I look at this stuff and go, you're robbing these people. They don't know what to do. You have to learn the process. So I teach you the process. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Because again, if that's what God has for you, we are here to help you beyond just when you let go of that ball and chain and you say, I am ready. Lord, use me. And you walk out the door and then you go, okay, who's going to help me? Daily Disciples would like to be at least part of that process if you would like for us to be there. Whether it's starting with a devotional, Tonilee is going to teach people how to teach Bible studies. The Esther Bible study, for those of you in the church is looking at doing our Esther Bible study for such a time as this. We have a lot of Bible studies with the MP3s and all the teachings available on our website.
I think
Last but not
what's
least,
important, because she does it an hour a week for $25, she is teaching them the right foundation. Mm-hmm. I'm always telling her that word entrepreneur is so big. And to me, that word is comprehensive. You know, as a nurse, I think of comprehensive care or holistic care. Because we can say we're business owners, that we have a service, we have a product, we have a message, but do we have the whole comprehensive ability for the foundation to be laid so that we can move forward and make money at it? No. And that's what she's seeing. She has done so many people's taxes who are in trouble, women business owners. See, they're business owners to me, though. They're not entrepreneurs. You know, there's a difference, because an entrepreneur means you know how to market. You know how to do all of it, not just the business. And that's what Bobbye's teaching in these classes.
Yeah,
and it is
the
foundation.
It is. It's good stuff.